Happy Sunday morning. Same old Brian T. Hey, it's been a minute. Yeah, I know, I've been pretty busy. But I just want to know, coming different place, different surroundings. You obviously can tell I'm in my truck. So I'm going to make it to a show today. I've never recorded in the truck. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me or see. I got a hum going on. Who knows? But I'm just sitting here with my own thoughts. I thought I'd share something since I ain't been on it in a while. I'm headed up to the Orlando Gardens card show. It's my normal card show. A lot of the regulars from Missouri and the St. Louis area. This is where Joe sets up and John and all those guys on the regular. Like I said, this is my regular show. To be quite honest with you, it's a good show. Because it's my regular show, it's become a little stale to me. But all the same, you never know what you're going to run into. It's Sunday morning, it's 9:18. I'm not doing anything. So I thought I'd go up and take a look, see what anybody's got new. Like I said, it's been like a month. Actually, Chris just asked me last week when the last time I did a video was. And then it was like 3 weeks. So, like I said, I don't know about you guys, but it's July for me. So, it's a new fiscal year. So at my work, it's a lot of new impact plans and master plans and current business needs and fiscal forecasts for capital spares and yada, yada, yada. It goes on. So it's a very, very busy time for work for me. The softball season for my daughter's ending. Well, it just ended, but they immediately go into the tryouts for next year. And although she's made the team for 3 years in a row, when you're 10 years old and you have a tryout, it's a very stressful time. So she's stressing out. So as you can imagine, anytime your children are stressing out, you're stressing out as well. My wife just had a surgery last week, so she's been on the mend for the last couple of days. No concerns there, no worries there. She's going to be fine. But all the same, I had to go back and forth between St. Louis and go to the hospital. Been taking care of her all weekend. So I can go on and tell you how busy I've been and what's been going on and what's kept me away. We took a family vacation at Gatlinburg here a couple weeks ago. That was an awesome time with the family. Maybe I'll put some Easter egg pictures at the end of the video. Let you guys see some cool stuff. It was a great time. So like I said, I've been very busy the last month. But all the same, I've tried to stay active in the hobby. I have. So in Gatlinburg and Sevierville and Pigeon Forge, I was able to hit a couple of shops there. Last weekend, I did make it to Boonville. We got rained out. It was supposed to be the last tournament of the season. We got rained out on that Saturday, which I once thought I was going to go. And I told the guys, softball's got moved. And now I can't go. And then we got rained out again. So last minute that morning, we got the call like 6:57 a.m. that we were going to be rained out. So I called Billy and everybody and let them know, hey, I'm going to come. I'm coming up, So it was a good day. Got to see a lot of the guys, Joe and Billy and Chris and Mike and Ross. And there's a bunch of people there. So, but I'll tell you what, you guys might think I'm crazy or, I don't know about you, but for me, it's a seller's market right now. It's been hard for me to pick up cards at the prices I'm willing to pay for them. It seems like everything is really blowing up right now. So I went to Boonville from southeast Missouri, where I live, and it's a 3.5 hour drive. It's a 3.5 hour drive, and I don't mind the drive because I knew I was going to get to see all the guys, and it's a show I had never been to. So the drive doesn't concern me whatsoever. I mean, I've driven to Indianapolis, Chicago. I've done day trips there and back, right? It's not a big deal. So go over there and get to just hang out with the guys is more than anything, right? Obviously. So I drove 3.5 hours. I went to the show, Boonville. It was a decent show. Not a whole lot of vintage. Some vintage, enough. But it was okay. I spent 4 hours at the show. I hung out at the table with the guys. Got to see everybody talk, just talk crap, talk about how Billy's a great snob. According to Chris, that was funny. It was a good conversation. I got to hear, a lot of good wisdom from Chris, about, the opposite sex, so to speak, which I won't share that, that private conversation amongst gentlemen. And then we just good conversations, good buddies, good laughs, right? So 3.5 hours up there, 4 hours at the show, 3.5 hours back, and I didn't buy a card. I didn't buy one single card. Billy tried to sell me a card for $1 just so I could say that I bought a card, but you know what? like I said, I find it hard right now to buy what I'm looking for. I'm not just going to spend money to spend. I want to add it to my collection in the way I want to add to it, so I'm not going to give money away. And it wasn't a wasted day. What a great day I had spending time with those guys. A lot of good times, a lot of good laughs, and I don't consider it a waste in any way. So, having said that, like I said, I've got some thoughts for some videos. I've seen some guys putting their top 10s together so far, at least their favorite 10 through the year, or the progress they've made for the first half of the year. I thought about doing that. Maybe I'll get some cards together and do that. But no, I'm going to go to Orlando Gardens. If nothing else, like I said, whether I pick up anything or not, I'm going to get to see some guys. I know a lot of these guys. Like I said, it's my local show. I bet I know half the dealers in the room or have a relationship with them. I'm sure I'll see other people I know walking in the room. So I'm going to have a good time. I don't know if I'm going to get any footage or anything. I have a tendency to forget to do that. A lot of times I'll go in the show and I'll be like, oh, you know what, I'm going to get something, and then I can get the conversation, or I get to look at it, and I completely forget. So maybe I will, maybe I won't. If I get any pickups at all, I'll definitely share those. But no, yeah, I hope this isn't too shaky. Like I said, I've never videoed in the car, but yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to be there before too long. I'll let you know. I'm out. So yeah, I just pulled in here to Orlando Gardens, and I'm not sure what's going on. I haven't made it inside yet, but I have never seen this place so busy. I couldn't find a place to park, which is very unusual, because this has a very big parking lot, including a lower lot that's like for bike pass and people that ride bikes. It's usually that part is vacant. Well, that part is full. So I looked, there's nobody big signing autographs here today. So that might be a good thing I came. Very suspicious. I'm getting ready to go find out what's going on in there. Maybe I will pick something up today. We'll see. All right, here we go. All right, I made it in Orlando Gardens. And just like I expected, the place was packed, right? This is as packed as I ever seen it. I couldn't hardly park. I ended up staying there for, I bet I was there 3-4 hours, walking around. Bought a couple cars, so I got a couple pickups to show, so I'll be able to show you those. I'm pretty happy with them. Made some couple good deals. But like I said, it's a seller's market. I thought it was a seller's market. I thought overall prices in general were high. I thought they were hard to bargain with. I'm not gonna lie, I walked away from 3 deals today, and I walked away from them for next to nothing. I walked away from a 2-car deal over $10. I walked away from another car deal over $5. And then what was the last one? And the last one I walked away after over $15. Now, I don't know how you guys feel, but I don't appreciate dealers that are firm, that are just firm. Listen, I get it. I know they got money in it. I know they got inventory in it. I know they have money in it, whatever, and they think they need to get out of it, whatever they need to get out of it. But I don't appreciate dealers that have no room at all, not even 5% on a card. Usually more times than not, I won't even deal with those guys. They usually just isn't my cup of tea. I'll be honest with you, that's usually not the kind of people I usually build a relationship with. That's usually not for me. So I literally walked away from a card for $5 when the guy told me that he was firm. Listen, and I understand they're his cards and he can do what he wants, and he can, you know what? But it's my money and I can do what I want as well. So I'm not saying I don't have an overpaid, but listen, I knew what I wanted to pay it. I'm not bragging. Listen, it is what it is. You know, I know on that point, I have to stand on my morals there. That's how I feel about that. So, but yeah, so I got those. I got a couple pickups there. I got a gift. Tom 19 or KC 1967, my friend Tom, my new friend Tom, I met him a couple times now. He's a super nice guy. He gave me an awesome gift. I'll share that with you guys. I got my pickups, and then there was a show. I got no pickups from Boonsville, sorry, like I said. But there was a show a few weeks before that, a local show here in Cape. I can show you. I made a very nice upgrade that day, an unexpected upgrade. I'll show you that one, and I'll tell you the story behind that one. And I got a couple other small pickups from that show as well. I got a nice mail day that I had to my Yadier Molina PC. I'll show you that one as well. So hang around and I'll show you what I got. Okay, so you guys want to see what I got? Yeah, I'll start with the Orlando show and the gift from Tom, KC 1967. He's seen one of my other previous videos, and he saw what I got out of a dollar box, and it was very cool. I walked up and he said, "Hey, Brian, I got something for you." And here's what he gave me. He gave me that whole set that I was talking about when I grabbed those Pete Rose cards, right? These are very cool. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to tear this box. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take them out. They're not, it's not like these things are, but it's still very, very cool. Where I got the front and the back. But yeah, these are all just mint condition. Just rows after rows. That is very cool. Thank you so much, Tom. I think it's a very cool gift. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Very cool indeed. So, that was a gift. Talked to Tom for a good while. I got his card. I think I got it up on my board here. Let's see if I can get that up there and see if I can figure that out. But I'll put that up there. Oh, and by the way, anybody that knows Tom, he said hi to all the gang. Wanted to make sure that I reminded everyone that he said hello. So I wanted to do that. So, yeah. And then here's the first pickup I had of the day. Trying to finish this player's run. I only need a couple left. And then I'll tell you the story behind this one. But it's a nice Koufax. Real nice. Nice, clean. Pretty well centered. Nice clear image. No creases, no wrinkles. Right in my wheelhouse. I have found more times than not, for my eye appeal preference for the price range I want to pay, it seems like that number 4, more times than not, seems to be where I settle. Sometimes 5 if it's older, a little younger, but that number 4, I guess that's where in my budget. I'm perfectly happy. That's a perfect example. So the story behind this one is 2 dealers had the same card. One was in a PSA 4. One was in the SGC 4. They both had the same price on it. I actually went to the PSA one first. You can take that as you will. I made an offer. I showed him the comps, and I made him an offer. And he countered it $10 more. Even at the offer that I made, I thought it was a more than fair offer, if not at comps already, if not a couple dollars over, just to get the deal done. I took in consideration shipping and tax and all that, so I was satisfied. But he wanted more, okay? I dealt with this dealer many times, so he really wasn't asking for a lot more. He actually considered it. I said, you know what, John, let's do it another day. I was like, I'm not worried about it. So then I went over to the guy, this one, that had the SGC one, had the same conversation with him. He immediately came into my price. He goes, I'll give it to you for that. I'm like, so that was an easy deal done. It looks just as good, if not better than the other one I looked at. I'm more than satisfied. Very nice addition to my Koufax run. I'm happy to have it. And then, like I said, I found the dealers very hard to deal with. Many of them not willing to negotiate or come off their prices. Many at comps, over comps, some extremely over comps. So more times than not, I find myself gravitating towards dealers that I already know or that I have relationships with. Obviously, they're going to give me fair deals, right? So I was very happy to add this one. Look at this. It's got the MC qualifier, but like I told you guys, right up my alley. Look at that. Clear as, man, no wrinkles, no cuts. So obviously you can see it's the top to bottom, but who cares? Who cares? The image is great. It's clear. There's no wrinkles. Corners are very good. And then you can see it on the back, obviously. Like I said, I don't like to point it out, but it's obvious. But I could care less. That qualifier, once again, look at my old videos. Look at one of my original videos. That qualifier, almost half off. Almost half off for a 54 Bowman Willie Mays. Great addition. Great addition. Very, very pleased to put that one in my collection. All right. So that was it. Those are my 2 pickups from the show. And then I got my gift. Very happy to have the gift as well. So it was a good show. Like I said, it was packed. I couldn't believe it was packed. What do I want to show? I can show you the show, my local show. So local show I picked up. So I actually did a trade. I traded away Yadier Molina non-licensed sticker auto that I had for a while, that I'd grown tired of, that it was ready to move on from. Really didn't mean a whole lot to me. It wasn't a rookie. It wasn't nothing huge. So, and I actually traded away to another somewhat of a friend deal. He is a friend. I just haven't got to know him very well. I've met him several times, but not built that strong relationship. But anyway, I did him a solid. They move easy for him. But what he did have, I made a bundle, about 6 or 7 of them. But here's 3 of my favorites. So I traded away, and I got some early Pujols relics. So this is a 2004 Tools of the Trade. His game used bat, game used jersey, and this one's numbered to 250. That was one of them. You know, these aren't huge pieces, but I just love them. All right, I just like adding those to the Pujols box. I think it's a great piece. So that was one of them, and then I grabbed this one from him. The 04 jersey rack. It's got Pujols, Sosa, and Manny Ramirez. I think that's a great one too. And that one's numbered to 225. So this one's numbered to 250. This one's numbered to 225. Great piece. 04, early playing days for Pujols. And then this isn't the last one, but this is another one I got from. But this is the 03 Leaf Cornerstones, right? 2 bat relics, one from Pujols, one from Sky Rowland. This is actually a little bigger card than what I had realized when I put the bundle together. But that's a great one too, and that one's numbered to 50. Early Pujols relic of 03. Man, I just like having stuff like that. I got a whole bunch of these. You know, when I can pick these up, but like I said, I didn't spend $1 on it. I traded away another card that I had grown tired of, so it was really no big deal to me. And I just look at these now. These are cool, nice additions to my collection that I'm very happy with. I like them. I like them a lot. Okay? So I did that, and then here's the White Buffalo story, right? So you guys are familiar with the White Buffalo, that card that's out of place, it doesn't belong. The dealer shouldn't have it. He's got all modern. Why does he have this one vintage? Things like that. Well, it was in my show, at my local show. Like I said, this is a local show, 30 tables at best. Mostly modern. I do have a couple friends that have some vintage down there, so I do go to it. But this one young man, here we go again. He's got this one card. But what makes this story even crazier is I just happened to put the same card in my bag that morning. So I always put cards in my bag. Cards that, like I said, I'm either going tired of or possibly look to upgrade or whatever it may be. I just randomly grab some out the door. I know what I want. I know what they are, and I just grab some. Well, it just so happens I grabbed one. Okay, when I seen the White Buffalo and I seen what he had it priced on, knowing that this young man would probably work on me price, I knew I was taking this thing home because it was already listed lower than what it should be. So it just so happens one of my friends, like I said, vintage dealers, was on the other side of the room. So I took the one in my bag. So I'll tell you what I had. I had a 3. Okay. I had a PSA 3, and I sold it to him across the room. He's like, yeah, Brian, I'll buy that from you. He gave me we went back and forth. He gave me a very fair offer. I raced back across the room, and I picked up this one. Nice Koufax. It looks significantly better than mine did. Mine had a couple issues with it. I went from a 3 to a 5, and I sold my 3 pretty much at market value, very close to it, maybe a little bit under for the dealer. But then I turned around on the other side of the room, and I got this one. And if I tell you the difference between the 3 and the 5 is only about $40, I wouldn't be lying to you. So I couldn't be happier. A great pickup for me, a great addition to my Koufax run. Yeah. Like I said, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it's just blind, stupid luck that I happen to put the Colfax. Although, I'm not going to lie, there's a very good chance, even if I didn't have the Colfax in my bag, that I probably would have tried to buy this for what I got it for when I seen it. Like I said, I knew it was out of place. I knew this young man didn't have any business having this card. I mean, he had mainly basketball and football, and they were all ultra modern. He had a couple baseball, but then this one, right? So, yeah, he was ready to move it. I talked to him for a little bit. He was out. He was in the black on a deal. He was out. It was a big deal. He said he made with several cards. This was one of the remainders for. He was already ahead. He was already in the black of the deal. So it's not like I took advantage of him or ripped him off. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was ready to move this. He wanted to liquidate it and he wanted to get on from it. And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Very happy. A couple more to show you. I can't remember if I showed this or not. This was a mail day. Nice Yachty addition to my PC. The Yachty SPX 04 rookie of $15.99. I've been meaning to ask one for quite some time. Another one I just could never find at my price point. Seen it on eBay. It was listed for what I had been looking to pay for quite some time. Didn't even make an offer. I just bought it. I wasn't going to argue any longer. I've been looking for it for a while. I was happy. It's what I wanted to pay, so I paid it. Very happy. And then the last one, this wasn't a mail day, but I picked it up at my LCS. I don't think I showed this yet. But I'm going to show. You've seen the red, you've seen the blue, and now you've seen the base. Another 04 Leaf certified Yadier Molina. Look at that shine. I like that. Just on these ones, right? So, very happy to add this number to $4.99. Like I said, I've got the red, I've got the blue. There's 6 of these in the set. There's a gold. There's an emerald of 5. And then I believe the 1 of 1 is actually a black. So, I don't know if I've ever seen the black. I believe I've seen 1 emerald quite some time ago. But they're extremely expensive, obviously. So I have half of them. The gold, there's one on eBay right now. I'm not willing to pay what it's listed for or even anywhere close to what I could probably get a reasonable ask for. But I'll be on the lookout. Times will change. We'll see what happens. You never know. But that's it. That's what you've missed. That's what I've been doing while I've been away and so busy. Those are most of my pickups. I got a couple others, minor ones, I think, but I didn't dig them out. But no, there you go, guys. Hey, I'll try not to wait so long in between videos. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'm out. Bye.